everyone here today to make an important announcement. Perhaps some of you will have heard—
We built the Jade Chamber?
So the rumors are true. The Jade...
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, Adepti Sigils. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capability, I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find. And in addition, the first 3 people who collect all you may add—
These things won't be easy.
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. What a coincidence. I won't divulge too much.
No.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is...
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interesting. Yes. Providing—
Really? Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share— The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend. Remember—
Ningguang seems super busy. First we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh?
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and... As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really...
No.
Don't be like that. Hey, why don't you stand...
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information. Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them and see what we can find out. Huh, they're not here. Let's keep looking.
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run. Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't...
No more excuses! I know you have money. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Shinyu kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. How could you afford...
Master warned me not to lay a hand, but here we are. Perhaps.
Boss, I'm telling you something.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You want to mind your own business? I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Shenhe,
Shenhe?
my name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation. I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Lila Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws? No, apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal.
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach. Psst. Do you think Shenhe might be an adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get...
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them!
My hunger has now abated. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet.
So, if Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a...
Because I'm not sure what the food of the mortal realm is most delicious. But should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is...
Return to the mountains! That proves it! Paimon knew she was an adeptus!
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition! And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would...
Wow, you really don't have to. But having an Adeptus help out would...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified. We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently...
Veto!
Really?
Look, Sunset for
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there.
Baiju? What are you doing?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short.
No, we've got other stuff to do.
Ah, the variety of plostra. As far as the records show,
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite...
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happened.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the...
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild.
Understood, Master Xing.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today.
Xingqiu? Have...
Oh, I see.
As well?
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild, we are holding it on behalf of someone who, at the end of the day, it all comes...
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price...
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
Who?
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away. Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drift after Sea Gazer passed, luckily,
That's great! But wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful? With him being an Adeptus?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that? Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go. There's something about... Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please...
Okay, we will. Let's see. Shincho said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place...
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there?
No touching!
The Sealy got to... Just sharpen my spear.
You want me on your team? Oh, how exciting!
What? Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here? Oh, so many clouds.
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the sunset vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see. Huh? Isn't that the Sealy from before? Look, it's... And now that Paimon takes a closer...
These are not real clouds. If we want to go down, we must first destroy...
Alright, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in...
Steady as stone. Someone...
Manifest! Take your true form! appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this? You will regret this! Everybody stand back! By ordinance divine, manifest!
One with nature.
The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance. Yeah, let's light it up! Obey! Unleash!
Whoa! We're gonna fall! Is everyone okay? Look! The celiac disappeared beneath the clouds again!
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first. Unleash!
I must leave no stone unturned.
One with nature.
Manifest! Take your true form!
As a good knight should.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Cryo incarnate! Take your true form! Let's light it up! Obey!
Access denied. This is long overdue.
Wind strike.
Manifest! My will embodied!
We're gonna fall. This time, we're really gonna fall. Ah! So high. Luckily, there was a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently. Hey! That sealie's on the move again. Let's catch up with it. Huh. Something looks different about this stone wall. Let's take a closer look.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
That's gonna hurt in the morning. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up. Do your master's bidding.
Come on. Okay. Steady as stone.
Take your true form. Unleash.
Next time.
Into the wind.
Take your true form. cloud! Take your true form!
Look, over there! Could that be the sunset vermilionite? Is this it? Is this the sunset vermilionite? It's so huge! That's true, but then
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. I don't care for her stories most of the time. I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like this.
Hold on a sec. If we activate it here, but if we
Don't worry. I can
Are you sure?
Please don't worry. I'm well aware my safety.
That's right. You gotta be
I'll go on ahead with...
How is Shenhe able to carry that huge rock all by herself? Adepti super strength must... We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself?
She's got. Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations, this item is approved for submission. I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Shenhe and Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest Plaustrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's...
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found? Pretty amazing, right?
In truth, it is the finest piece of Plaustrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. If you need a place to rest, you are welcome to stay there. Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua! Shenhua! Just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praises!
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold their head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive, too. Way different than normal people.
But I am not...
Shenhua?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode. I'm just a little fatigued.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check in and take a rest.
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit and meditate in silence.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're
Okay.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Hi there! Checking in, are we? Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, so...
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I hear your keys? Alright, hope you enjoy your...
Shenhua, you should go get some rest. Well, Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Let's buy one for Shenhua, too. She can have it.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door. See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that Claveratina? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhua.
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool. So, what's her adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shenhua feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her adeptus name instead.
Her adeptus name? Why?
Don't all adepti have a special type?
On this latter point, you are correct. However,
Oh, right. Wait, what? You knew already?
Do you mean to say that she presents
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago. One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intent.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shenhe may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of...
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind, and she had experienced. Indeed. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's...
Oh, now Paimon gets it.
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and... If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her. Let us conclude our conversation here.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus.
Here I leave.
Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very... After all, Master... It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, for this...
To be fair, anyway.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title, Friend, very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The Jade Chamber is but it seems...
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beto! And hey! Person Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially construct the remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to
One moment, I'll be right. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beto? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine.
Shenhe.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed—
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting, to be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang.
Wow. So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to
Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you—
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. Alright, from what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw material.
We will head into town and seek advice from Master—
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask, Ningguang?
I'm looking for a—
Ooh, what's the opera called?
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called
go.
Excuse me, Master.
Of course I have.
My name is...
Yunjin? Stage use. Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, if I remember correctly, it could take some work, but if you stick with... of course, it's
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And what's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Ugh.
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience.
I think it's a great story. The idea...
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Shenhe village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Huh.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Shenhe, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's
Shenhe.
Shenhe. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhe?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go with don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe.
Okay, then
What's this? So, now that I think about it, she does behave. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have, according to this text, the divine damsel from the opera, and she didn't volunteer. She was... Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shen... Oh.
Time to go.
So it seems that Shenhe's father, his obsessive yearning for his deceased wife, led to a terrible tragedy. Still, I do wonder...
we've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there. This is it! So basically, we need to... Let's go back and tell Shenhe the news!
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to
Apologize for what? If you'd stop, there is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if...
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhua, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta...
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about just now, in the village.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character...
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to... So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to... But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started...
Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit! We can't let someone else beat us to...
Wherever in this world I roam.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in! Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Oh, goodness.
So,
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take...
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for... When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all.
Without knowing the ins and outs, but now that our paths have...
Thank you. So, Master Zhang...
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else.
Next on the agenda.
Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay, I see. The Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners. I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the plush-strike yet!
I can't believe it. So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
Huh? Where's Beidou?
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come.
All right then. Guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long...
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work.
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here? And the Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens. I can think of no better stage for you than here, Miss Yun.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all these aboard the Jade Chamber.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come in.
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your brother's whereabouts. Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Wow. You're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well. Guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of these traits are crucial. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement.
Wow. Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Oh, great! So next time we run out of Mora, we just need to come to Ningguang? No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think...
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Huh. A sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet a little later than expected.
Come on, Beto. It's your turn. Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to... Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millelith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beto, Ningguang, what are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know. When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen at all 7 nations of Teyvat. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence! The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who's that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming!
Beto sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it! Well, let's go fetch the Adepti!
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
Accursed child! Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk!
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We'll have to!
Leave it all to me. Unleash! Obey! We're way behind schedule. Manifest!
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
Do your master's bidding! Unleash! Manifest!
No touching!
Did I miscalculate? This is long overdue.
Everybody stand back!
Steady as stone.
Unleash!
As a dutiful maid would. Yeah. Born of ice and
Let's light it up!
leave it all to me.
As one with wind and cloud.
Cryo incarnate!
She's getting away! Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. If the place collapsed, the consequences would be... I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that she may be interested to hear about.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
Wow! Everyone's already seated!
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform The Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
神女披冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
It was beautiful.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are. Huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Wait, you're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for. Let me pull up a chair, all right? We'll all have a friendly chat
get better acquainted.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe.